So I have a few different screens going here. I'm going to try and stay focused on the actual webcam and just say welcome to everybody that's just joining us live. I'm just admitting some people here. So I wanted to say welcome, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. It is a very beautiful and energetic time that's happening right now. I love to, at first, just kind of go through a little bit of a cosmic update so that we have a good bearing on exactly what's going on cosmically, planetarily right now, just to kind of give us some insight. It doesn't mean that we have to rule our lives by something such as astrology or numerology, but there's some really neat events that are happening right now between the planets and the way that they're going. And I always like to just kind of give us a little bit of an update as to what's happening, just so that we can literally know what to expect. I don't know if you guys have noticed over the last little while, but especially this last week, it's been intense. It's almost as what people have been calling the dark night of the soul, or this, they've had these extreme emotions that have been going on and that have been happening this last week. And that is happening for some very beautiful reasons. And those reasons are that we are truly kind of upgrading. We have the most light right now. We have the most solar energy that's just basking our earth. We have this light that you may have heard something coming up over the last few days, because it technically started on July 28th and goes all the way to August 12th. And that's 16 days that we call this Lion's Gate portal. Now, it's 8-8, and so 16 days makes a lot of sense when you look at the way it's all designed. But what astrologers and star studiers have noticed over the last few hundreds of years, that there's this intensity that tends to happen where emotions are rising in people as well as things kind of happening around the world. I know in my little town, even, we had a tornado, which was kind of crazy. That doesn't happen very often. But anywhere that you are right now in the world, you've probably been noticing that the weather has been a little bit crazy. And you may have also noticed that there's some people that have been a little bit crazy. People are just really high emotion right now. Now, we're generally in two states. We're in a state where we are conscious, when we are living in that conscious mind, or we are sort of unconscious and we're allowing those old patterns to guide the way we react to things, and we are following the teachings of our families and what we were always taught. And what a lot of people are coming to this realization of this week especially is that we don't necessarily have to do what we were always told we had to do. We don't necessarily have to follow the rules that people have set out for us. And a lot of the times, what we may notice is that we're living from a place where we act, we end up acting on the premise that we're paying attention to what we're concerned about is what people believe about us, not necessarily what we believe about ourselves. So when we're around someone, we often will almost react, or we will actually act like they, what we sort of expect them to think that we.
Penis, ball sack, uncircumcised, penis, hamster.
I'm just going to have to set up some parameters here.
Black monkey slave god.
All right, just give this another shot here. Alrighty. So, for those that are interested in hearing more about what's going on sort of cosmically right now, this kind of um, feeds into exactly what's going on. There's people that if they're not acting from a place from the heart, what's happening is they're doing some crazy things. They are blaming others. They are blaming people that may not have anything to do with what's actually going on in their world, but they're letting them take their power. They're saying, I can't create what I want because this person's doing this or this person's doing that. And so one of the things that we need to really keep in mind is that we are the creators of our own reality. And what is it that we're focusing on right now? And so this beautiful full moon energy that we had that just happened this last week, which was absolutely amazing and enlightening. That full moon is the closest to the earth. It's like a big super moon, and we're going to have another one of those at the end of the month. So with all this liquid light coming in, it's like it's shining light on shadows. It's shining light on those things that were maybe swept under the rug. It's shining some light on the things that are that may be really debilitating to us, that are really holding us back from where it is that we want to go. Oh, I just realized my video was off there. Boy, off to a great start. Talk about crazy energies in the air, that is for sure. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, yeah, this light is coming in perfect timing. It only happens about every 11 years where we have this much cosmic energy to really clean out those dark corners of the cupboards, to really energize us into change, into making conscious decisions for ourselves. And sometimes this liquid light, this beautiful light that's coming through, is made to shine on areas that really it is ourselves holding ourselves stuck. So it's been a bit of a time for reflection. It's been a bit of a time for really sort of needing to almost stop what we're doing and kind of sort of reset a little bit. So if you guys have noticed, I mean, with COVID happening around the world, we kind of all shut down, and it slowed us down to a point where we could actually stop and see what it is that is really important to us. And we could take a few moments and actually be with our families and sort of start looking at things kind of differently. And now that the world is almost opened up again, a lot of people are finding themselves diving back into that those people-pleasing traits, and those doing a lot more than they really want to be doing, and even doing things that they really don't want to be doing, feeling themselves having these conversations with themselves, saying like, gosh, I really just don't feel like doing this. This isn't me. Like, I don't know why I signed up for this. These are those intuition hits that we really need to pay attention to. These are those messages coming from the heart, not so much the thoughts. The thoughts are their own thing, depending on where they're coming from. But when you really sort of slow down, take a few minutes to actually go outside with your journal and sit and, feel that sun's energy. Imagine right now we have a star called Sirius that is 23 times brighter than the sun itself. And this is actually part of why it's Lion's Gate. Sirius shows itself. Sirius is the main dog star in I believe it's Orion's constellation. So you've maybe heard that song "Dog Days Are Over." Dog Day. It can be a very reflective sort of in your face kind of time when Sirius comes out, because it shines this huge light on things that are really needing to be seen. So this week is really a powerful time to embrace that and to allow yourself to actually tap into some of that energy and really allow yourself to go inside, because August is a big kind of more masculine energy month where we're starting to really do things. Now, the balance, this key balance to masculine and feminine energy, comes when we understand that we can be doing things, but are we doing things that are really feeding our soul's expansion? Are we doing the things that are really lighting us up and leading us to where we're supposed to be? Or are we just doing the things that we've been told to and conditioned to every single day? And this is sort of what enlightenment is, in a way, is starting to understand what actually does really make you tick, what does make you happy. When we've been people pleasers most of our life, when it comes to starting to even expand your mind into what really makes you happy, it can be very difficult, because as long as everyone else was happy, you were happy. And so there comes this time where we get to actually really discover this, and it becomes extra discoverable in this little sort of 16-day window. And it's not just that you're going to discover your true nature and purpose all of a sudden at this time, and everything's going to be absolutely perfect and everything's going to go well. This is to prepare us for the next 18 months that we have of without going into it too much, particular retrogrades, particular sun cycles, particular energies and houses that the planets are all sitting in. This next 18 months is very, very profound in truly manifesting what it is that we've been wanting to create for a long time. Now, the key is with this Lionsgate portal is coming back to remembering yourself and who you really are and what you're really meant to be here to embark upon, to create more healing and more love in the collective community, in your life, to really be able to live from that place. And sometimes this emotional awareness, this letting go of any of these debilitating patterns, whatever they may be, whether they were imprinted from other people, from ancestral trauma, from epigenetics, from our DNA, right, from something that just happened in high school or even last week at work. These things all set in our mind, they create this perception, they create thoughts, which are going to create the emotions that we have, and the emotions are going to really create these beliefs. And so if we're feeling like we're a really positive person and we're making really good shifts, but when we really look at what's going on behind the veil, the quiet of our mind, is our self-talk kind of negative? Are we saying, well, I really want this, but then, following it with a but I couldn't, or but these people would, or this would happen, or that would happen, or we almost need to stop ourselves before we get to that but point and just really kind of focus on the energy of this is all working out in divine timing. This is all sort of made to be happening in our lives, even though it's been a little bit tumultuous and a little bit crazy over the last week. I have a lot of people that have actually had probably more intense emotions that they've had around things like normal than they have for a while, and they actually found themselves saying, like, I don't know where that came from. That was a part of me that hasn't surfaced for a long time. And that part is surfacing in part because when we last had that reaction or that eruption or that kind of emotional turmoil about something, that deep feeling, that emotional pain, a lot of times the last time we had deep pain like that, or deep, just that whole experience, we were in a different mindset than we are now. The mindset that we're in now is really trying to create a life that we love, really trying to live in that end result of health and vitality. It's really all about being that predominant creative force in your life. It's about living your true nature and purpose. It's, we've made a lot of choices over the last few years for a lot of people that have been working with me that really to make this choice every day, when you stay in that energy and you're just working every day to try and create as much happiness as you can in each day, and that really does shift the way things actually go. This is shifting your focus, this is shifting where your energy is going. You're not going to get dragged down into those little holes as much as we did in the past. But this last week has kind of dragged a few people down into holes. But the beautiful thing about that is I've seen them crawl out really, really changed and really prepared even for what's going to be coming ahead of this, because it's a huge lesson. And it is things that are truly made to allow our soul to expand as it's supposed to. Because this is one of the big things. We often were not allowed. We felt we weren't allowed to just be in love, to be in happiness, to be in joy and excitement and anticipation. We also weren't allowed to be in anger or to have really strong emotions. And so now with conscious education and sort of retraining our brain, we're tapping into places that have been really buried deep down in the subconscious for a lot of years, but have been active and prevalent in our active experience in holding us back from certain things or not allowing us to experience the things that we really want. And so this time is beautiful in that both Chiron and his wife, when you look at mythology, are very prevalent. And this is all about healing. So this is about having our inner healed child. Last week we worked on the inner wounded child, did a little bit of inner child work, bringing all of these teachings that we've done over the last few weeks, even just with more with past lives and some of our ancestral healings that needed to take place and that have been being worked on, have now allowed us to get to this point where we can actually embrace these healed parts of us and allow them to all come together and really enable us to see who we truly are, to enable us to live our true authentic self, to enable us to be that. I feel like for a lot of us, it's that deep inner wise soul, that wise teacher, that healer, that shaman or medicine woman, or depending on the religion that you're in or the spiritual followings that you have, this sort of innate elder, right, of sorts that has this inner knowledge, this tapped in knowledge. And you meet a lot of these people and they're really cool because they just say what's on their mind. They don't really care what people think anymore. They don't really operate from a place of fear or anger anymore. They just kind of operate in love, and they're able to just very easily flip a situation and just kind of see the best in it and allow others to see the best in it. And we all have that part in us. We all have that inner wisdom. When we look at Chiron, and his wife Chariklo is one of my favorite mythology characters, because she was actually a sea nymph and he was a centaur from all of the stories that go back hundreds of years. And he was kind of like the healer. He would come in and allow you to see the past and work through it and move forward. And his wife Chariklo was this beautiful entity that came in and held space for him to be able to heal others. And even for when he would get ill or get a wound or something like that, she would be able to help heal him. And so she's almost like this best friend that that you need the advice from, that that you can always sort of go to, and she's going to give you this unbiased opinion, this truth that you just need to hear. And it's almost like having this supportive healer just right beside you this whole time, especially this whole week, and having Sirius's light shining down to amplify the energy even more. You may find that come Monday, there'll be a big shift in energy where you actually feel like you really have the energy to move forward. You really feel like you have the energy to make the good decisions that you need to make, especially concerning health and wellness and just the direction that your life is going in. A lot of people have felt what we would even call ascension symptoms this week with this full moon. A lot of people weren't sleeping. They did not sleep that whole week, like basically for the last 3-4 days, really having a hard time falling asleep, especially if they didn't prepare themselves properly and get to bed early enough. There was a lot of times where people were noticing big, like really tired spells, feeling, well, obviously because they weren't sleeping at night, feeling headachy, feeling heart palpitation type feelings, kind of like excited but drained all at the same time, tired but wired, we were calling it. there was a lot of that going on in people's bodies last week. And so you may notice the shift this week. Now the moon's kind of waning a little bit. That intensity is coming off in the sort of in your facedness way. And now we get to sort of, after this weekend really dial in your feminine energy. Like I was saying, get a journal, go sit outside, just allow your heart to speak. Don't go out and be like, okay, I gotta write in my journal. I know I need to write in my journal, and try and think of something to write. Allow yourself to actually sit there and listen for a message. And in the meditation that we're going to do tonight, right away, there'll be just a prompt to be able to just listen and to ask any questions that you want to ask, any clarity that you want to obtain, to just be able to really tap into that and allow the heart to really hear and listen, not to try and drum up thoughts, but to really allow your heart to speak and really be able to listen to it. I feel like there's a lot of messages that are really going to be coming through, those light bulb moments, those aha moments. We're going to feel those a lot and really quite strongly, especially like Monday, Tuesday. It's going to be sort of epiphany after epiphany. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, you're probably going to notice that it's going to be more of a feeling of feeling more sure about it. We may be questioning things a lot right now. We may be trying to discern what's good for us, what's not. And so one of the processes that I really love to do when I'm trying to make decisions and to make choices is to really get into the end result of what I want. Look at my intentions, my motives behind whatever decision it is I'm trying to make. Look at sort of what I want to attain by having the outcome that I do, and really stepping into that for a moment. So you kind of get into your true choice, your end goal, even if it's just, should I confront this person? Should I talk to this person? What should I do with this person, or something along those lines? We get really stuck sometimes in the clarity of what the right decision is. And I've spoken about this before, where if we're coming from the heart, we're often not going to make the wrong decision. If we're coming from the heart, where we really want to create the most love that we can across the board, that we want to not create pain, we want to try and come up with a solution, we want to, whatever it is, we want to be able to grow somehow. When we come at it from that intention, often the decision is going to be true. If we're coming from a place of a lower frequency, like those emotions I was talking about a little earlier, the anger or the fear or the aggravation or frustration, if we're making a decision and when we're making a choice from that place, with that place in mind, we're going to come up with a very different solution than we did if we were coming up with it from our point of our North Star. So first we step into what we really want, what our sort of our motive and our intention is at the end of this choice. We think about our choice as far as what is really true, not because it's going to change something, but just really examine what that choice is. Then we get to make 3 little decisions. They call it circle work. If you've done any work with William Whitecloud, we call it circle work. So first you step into that circle of your end choice, of your motivation. And then what you do is you actually come up with 3 solutions or 3 options that you can take. So you would literally draw 3 circles and you would write your 3 options. So this is great if you're struggling with something, if you need to make a choice about something. Should I move to this place? Should I contact this person? Whatever it is, when we're trying to make a decision, this works really well. So you can just take 3 options. So you literally kind of get into a place where you're tapping into your heart. You're just grounding yourself a little bit. And in each of these circles, you write one of the options down. So the first option may be do nothing. Don't contact them at all. Let them contact you. The second choice may be contact them and contact everyone around them and let them know what they're doing. Step 3, maybe contact the person and just talk to them, communicate with them from the heart. So you can write each of those down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to literally imagine that you're standing in option 1. You're coming from your true choice and you're just standing in option 1. So option 1, do nothing. How does that feel? How does that really feel? What emotions come up when I feel into that? And allow yourself to just close your eyes and just feel into that emotion for a moment of that first choice. Just feel what it feels like. You're going to get a lot of clarity from that. Oftentimes, our bodies will even sort of rock forward for a yes, or rock backwards or sideways for a no, depending. You might feel it in your gut for a no, your heart for a yes. You might feel, everybody feels it sort of differently. But you may get some indications just on what your true choice, what that option feels like for you. Then you step out of that one and you step right into your second option. Okay. I want to burn down the house. I want to talk to them. I want to tell everybody what they're doing. That's it. I am done. Step into that feeling for just a moment and just feel what it feels like. What are the emotions that come up when you feel into that? And then the same thing for the third circle. By the time you go through just 3 options, you've often come up with the right one. You often even knew what the right one was before you stepped into each one, but it did give you a lot of clarity on what that decision should be. And it makes decision making a lot easier. I've just found that I've had to use that a lot lately with a lot of the decisions that, we have to really be discerning on where we're spending our time and who we're spending our time with, what we're doing with our time. If we're wanting to really grow and manifest and do the things, but we're not really spending time with people that are doing that and supporting that, we're not really taking any coaching, or we're not really doing any journaling, or we're not even really going for a walk every day, even though we know we should. If we're not sort of doing the things, that is coming to light right now so that we can make these changes and really move ourselves forward in growth, and not beating ourselves up about it. Just literally being gentle on ourselves and allowing ourselves to go inside and ask, what those little things are that we can be doing right now to better utilize our time. This is how we need to be making decisions. We need to be making the decisions that are best for us so that we prioritize and put those things in our schedule first, so that when all of these other things that are coming rushing at us, we can discern and we can decide, I think this would be really good for me. I really feel like this doesn't fit anymore. And to not do it just because we always did it, but to actually make those shifts and changes now throughout this time. You're going to notice a lot of people doing this right now. And that is also because there are so many beautiful opportunities that are coming to us that have been trying to be delivered to us over the years. But for whatever reason, we didn't see it. We didn't take it. We didn't choose them the way maybe we should have. So as this light is shining in on us, this beautiful Lion's Gate portal, this beautiful Sirius light, this amazing full moon energy that we're still sort of coming down off of over the last few days, we can allow this light to shine on some of those things that are really truly ready to be shifted in our lives in a way that's not going to feel like a struggle. It's going to feel good. And the more we actually take action on these things, the more it's going to just completely set us up for that next 18 months of pure manifestation in the area that we want it to go, not the area that we were letting it sort of slide down to when we weren't taking our power back. And that's really this energy right now, that tapping into that, like I say, that inner elder, that inner teacher, that taking that power back, getting it back from when we were a kid, when we sort of knew who we were before we were told that we couldn't be that anymore, and really allowing ourselves to embrace that true authentic self. That is what the big lessons are right now. And so with Lion's Gate, we can almost embrace the lion's energy. And so we're going to go into a meditation right away. We're just going to literally allow this light to sort of cleanse our emotional, our mental, our physical bodies, our auras just literally allow that light to truly cleanse. I'm going to do a little bit of bioenergy work like I always do as well, just sending it out to the collective group wherever you may be. And we're going to do a little bit of recode in the realm, in the field, just in whatever resistance sort of comes popping up. So I want you to think of right now tapping into this lion's energy. There's these beautiful white lions that are seen with Sirius because of the white light. And so if you were to imagine the most beautiful, majestic looking white lion just kind of sitting up on this high level, these levels of rock where it's just kind of sitting up there, really majestic looking and powerful, and just sort of tap into that energy. And just in your mind, imagine something that you've just been wanting to create for a while, something that maybe just, it might just be more energy, it might be more time, it might be better relationships, it might be loving relationships, might just be some freedom, might be financial, might be health, depending on what's going on with you right now. Might just be, like I said before, creating a life that you love, or just being able to take your power back and really tap into what it feels like to be your true nature and purpose. And I want you to think about the direction that you're going, where you could possibly be in 18 months. This doesn't happen just overnight, but if you really sort of fast forwarded 18 months from now, could you imagine what life could be if you allowed yourself to truly just be happy, to truly be that powerful source that you know that you are? And if you're ready to get into just a relaxing pose, whatever that may be, whether you're sitting or lying back, a lot of people like to lie down. Some people just sit. We're going to do a bit of a guided meditation. And all you have to do for me to be able to just connect with you in your field is just feel a yes throughout your body. Just feel like, yes, I'm ready to just do this healing, this cleansing, this balancing. Just let the light shine and clear out whatever it needs to clear out in this beautiful portal that's coming up. It comes up on Tuesday. And so this will just allow your field to be nice and clean and clear for all of the things that you're ready for to just come pouring into your life, like the beautiful white light that's about to start pouring up from up above. And I want you to just imagine right now, wherever you're connected to the ground, whether it's your bum or your feet, your back, I want you to just imagine that area of your body starting to grow tiny little roots that are starting to feed down into the earth, connecting into the earth's cosmic grid and all of the beautiful earth upgrades, matrix upgrades, and beautiful solar downloads that are all connected into this gorgeous matrix that we can start connecting into right now. The Lion's Gate exists without time, without space. And just imagine that with every breath that you're taking a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, that you're connecting further into that beautiful energy, all those light codes, that pure matrix that exists all around us. I'm just noticing that with each breath in, that your belly is expanding and filling. And as you breathe out, your belly is literally contracting and your whole body is relaxing more and more with each breath out. And I want you to imagine now that there is this beautiful light that's coming from above your head. It's so bright that you can't even tell where it's coming from. It feels like it's coming from the sun, but you know that it's amplified by this little star that is so much bigger than the sun, that has so much more light in a different way than you've ever felt. And I want you to feel that liquid light start to infuse over your head, over your scalp. And imagine your whole scalp opening to this beautiful liquid light, this white light that's so bright you can hardly even see. Feel that light infusing through every cell in the top of your skull, coming down into your brain, in and around your head, your scalp. And allow that light to cleanse, balance, clear, and transmute your crown chakra, your third eye. Your whole face is starting to relax as this liquid light is just pouring, infusing, regenerating, cleaning and clearing each cell like a tiny little crystalline, pure liquid that's literally infusing through every cell. And imagine it coming down your jaw and over your teeth, cleansing and clearing anything in the throat chakra, just allowing that whole center to be opened in the most white light with just a blue tinge as it comes down and around the throat, enabling you to speak your truth, enabling you to feel as though you're listening in a way you've never heard before, and you're speaking in a way you've never heard yourself speak before. From the heart, as you feel your heart palpitating just a little bit, almost like it's jumping as this white light comes down to heal the energy center, the whole heart chakra, front and back. Any tears, any breaks, any cracks or fissures. Anytime that heart has been blown wide open, it's like this little repair system is coming through right now with this beautiful white light that's coming down through the top of your head and starting to pour through your neck, through your shoulders, all in and around your rib cage and your arms. Imagining that white light moving down through your elbows and your forearms, down the palms of your hands and your fingers, around your fingertips, and all the way back up the back of your hands, up your arms and back through your heart, just repairing any damage that's been done, past, present, and future. And just allowing that liquid light to start to move down through into your solar plexus, right above your belly button, where your deepest wishes and desires, your greatest joys and virtues are hiding but are ready to be shone that light on. And just notice what you feel and see and hear as that inner child wants to come out and play, that inner healed child, bringing all the parts of us together now, all of the healed parts, bringing us together in a stronger union. Just feeling that divine light spark like a small pilot flame, getting bigger and bigger as that white light starts to get amplified down into your sacral plexus, into that whole energy center where all the fears, a lot of the traumas, a lot of the packed deep down familial stuff is hanging out. Cleansing, clearing, and transmuting that whole sacral plexus, just allowing your energy and your breath to come through with the beautiful white liquid light as it starts to resonate, infuse, and heal every small part, every crack, every dense area, every cell in that sacral plexus, feeling it all the way down. And right down into your seat, into the bottom of your body, into the bottom of your pelvis. Feeling that root chakra be infused with this gorgeous white light as it starts to gently pour down into your legs, into the pathways of where you're going, who you're showing yourself to be, walking your walk and just allowing that white light to move all through your pelvis, your hips, your upper legs. Allowing it to move and fill, infuse, heal, clean and clear anything in your chakras around your knees, your feet, the bottoms of your legs. Imagine it going down over the palms of your feet, around the tips of your toes and back up the top of your feet. Cleansing, clearing, and transmuting anything in the physical body, in the legs and the feet, tapping into the physical body right now. Feeling your physical body in any dense areas, any areas you've been having pain in, any old injuries, any areas that tend to be drawing your attention to them right now. Allow this light to come back up and circulate anywhere in the physical body that needs it. Bringing special attention up to the ears and just tagging and treating anything in the field, in the physical body. Doing a massive change history in any of the body systems, the nervous system, the lymphatics, the hormone system, the digestive system, the muscles, the bones, the joints, the cartilage, the tendons, the ligaments. Resetting everything, allowing this light to clear out and make space for the reset and the upgrades and downloads that are coming from this liquid light, from Sirius, from the full moon energy, anything that's ready to shift out, anything that's no longer serving us. Whether it's physical pain, whether it's an actual dysfunction, allowing the healing to that area at this very moment in time. And now tapping into the emotional body, allowing this light to just move through, feeling into any emotions right now, any that are coming up in that light. And notice the light getting brighter and brighter. You feel like you're being pulled towards, or even dropped right into, the opening to two pillars of light. And on either side of those beautiful pillars, they're so big you can't even see the tops of them, are two beautiful white lions. And I want you to tell them what your intention is. What do you want to create in your life? What kind of life do you want to have? If you were to take your power back, what would life look like for you? Tell them for just a moment as they step back and usher you right in to the beautiful 8-8 portal, where all the divine messages are going to start being channeled right through your energy field. Ask for clarity at this moment. What is my life's purpose? What does light me up? What do I love doing just because it makes me happy? Ask these questions now as your spirit guides, Chiron and Cheroklo, are there. The midwife, the best friend, the person to tap you right in to exactly where you're meant to be in this life, to help you see your true light, to help you see your true authentic self, to help you see how amazing you are. She guides you to see how you are the true creator of your reality, how powerful and divine you are. She helps you tap into your warrior, your inner truth. She helps you to tap into the wise teacher that you are. And to tap into these sacred healings that are ready in this portal to be washed over your every cell. And just imagine this light starting to pour in through the top of your head like a new washed waterfall, coming through into beautiful areas that haven't been uncovered for a long, long time. Creating space in your energetic field and your mental body. Tagging and treating anything in the emotional and mental fields today. Doing a massive change history, allowing those light codes to start pouring in. Creating the change in the cells that want and desire that change. Expanding you into the truest form of yourself. Taking all that you've released over the last few weeks, all that you've been learning, all of these epiphanies, and pouring them into every cell and into your heart chakra. Just cleansing, balancing, upgrading your wisdom, upgrading your higher intelligence and your higher consciousness. Upgrading your clarity and just aligning you with your highest, fullest potential, and she's there to guide you. Listen to any action steps she's telling you to take right now. The best advice that you've ever heard. And as that washing through seems to get less intense, I want you to just feel that light moving through any more cells of the body, any more areas of your life, any areas that this light needs to be lifted and shone upon. Allow it to bring to your conscious attention what these beautiful action steps are that you can take to really help yourself to move towards this beautiful vision. And allow her to help you amplify that vision a little bit. Allow her in this light to show you the things that you used to do that made you really happy. And with a nice receiving breath, you can turn and choose to step down from that portal, just accepting the upgrades, accepting all of those downloads. Taking a nice deep breath and just stepping down away from that beautiful light. Noticing the lions walking with you, and as you're walking away, you're turning in to a lion yourself, and you're tapping in to what the energy would feel like of being a lion. Walking like one so graceful, with big padded feet and long, strong legs and back, and such courage, such strength, such promise, such surety, such honesty. A lion knows that they will only take what they need and they will share the rest. And they can love so purely. I want you to feel the love of a lion's heart. Feel the love of the energy that's just coming in to truly support you in where it is that you're going. Just taking a few nice deep breaths. You can come on back by just wiggling a finger or a toe as we just ground all this into the matrix of the universe. Feeling that connectedness as we're always connected to the earth's energy, and we can ground by just going outside and allowing ourselves to put our feet in the grass and just feeling the earth's energy as it connects with ours. And over this next week, it would be beautiful if you could make a few promises to yourself, make a few commitments to yourself that just feel really good, that just feel inspired, that just feel that you can increase your connection to that feminine energy in every way possible. To really allow yourself to tap into that this week. Because even by Wednesday, Thursday, the shifts are going to be really profound, and you're going to feel so sure in where you're going. You're going to feel really good about some of the decisions that you've been making. It's going to feel like you're spiritually connected again, to not sort of be doubting yourself. You're going to really feel like you're on fire a little bit by the end of the week. And that really starts like Tuesday, once that Lion's Gate opens. And so this kind of allows you to be prepared for that energy burst that's going to happen, for these opportunities to come in, for these pure intentions of where you want things to go. The biggest thing is to keep in mind is that our energy is always going to flow wherever it's going. So if we can be really cognizant of our thoughts and just really pay attention to when we're being kind of hard on ourselves, or even if we're judging others, or worse yet, judging ourselves, allow yourself to know that you are more powerful than that. You can turn around and make that choice to take that time to step inside and make sure you are going where you are intending. So with that, I am going to sign off of Facebook land. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here tonight. Next week, we'll be doing a new moon meditation, so that'll be lots of fun.